All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chef Rock, and we're here in the Culinary Underground. Actually, we're right here at the Kona Pub in Hawaii Kai in the Coco Marina. What a beautiful location. Great place to come for lunch, and of course, that great Kona beer. Our band, Johnny Valentine, Jesse, and Gordon, give it up for them. They're going to be playing all day.
Hello.
Lots of fun. I know I always ask this, but how many people out there are hungry?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be serving up Johnny's shirt in a little bit. Johnny, that's one heck of a shirt you got right there.
All the way from Jam's World.
Jam's World, unbelievable.
Another shirt right there.
You got one for me?
Yes, I got 3 for you.
3? Well, I'm not that big. What, all sewn together? Gordon, you bring me a little goodie, like some chocolates?
I carried the shirts.
Okay, Gordon. Gordon, I see you're sweating. Yeah, it was a tough
I'm sticking
job.
it in.
No, I thank you. Jam's World, I want to thank you for great outfits. I mean,
Thank
those
you.
are incredible shirts. Well, who's hungry out there?
Yes.
I'm sure you came to a culinary show to, and you're not hungry? Come on. Well, we're going to make something really fun. One of the big, I got to tell you something really quick first. I'm going to be serving pork today. I hope it doesn't offend anyone, but you can go with chicken, fish, anything you want. We're going to do a beer-battered pork tenderloin with a little dipping sauce with the Aloha Gold. But we're going to do some pork. I love all types of meat and fish. You can do this with vegetables if you like. It's not a tempura batter, which has more of a cornstarchy base, which makes like little bubbles, and it makes it really fluffy and kind of crunchy. I like my beer batter like you get like fish and chips, a real good coating on it. And we're going to make it with some Kona beer, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's a lot of different beers out there. They have, the Waialua Wheat, Longboard, Big Wave. So it really depends on what you want. So I start out with some flour in the bowl, and you can go to chefrock.com and grab the recipe. I don't have to give you all the ingredients. You're going to go, why is he even telling me? I don't remember. So I have some flour. It's about 2 cups of flour. I got some baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder. This is more of a little leavening agent. It'll help bring up the little bubbles that I was talking about, but not too much. Little sea salt. Put that right in. It's nice and easy. Garlic powder, because it goes good with everything. A little behind the ear, a little Italian aftershave. It's really good. Whatever you want. A little chili powder. I say you can put whatever you want in here. Some fresh herbs and some little black pepper. 1 egg. Show off. Hey, there we go. And then a beer. Go with a Kona beer. If I could open it. There we go. We're going to go with, this is our longboard. I like it because it's a little lighter than your average beer compared to some of the other heavier IPAs, which have a little more bitter flavor, which I don't really like in my batter. The batter will make you madder if it gets bitter. So don't do it. Don't blame me. So what I do is when I make a batter, I start adding the liquid a little at a time, because if you put too much, certain flours absorb more than others, and you don't want it to be, what? Too lumpy. So you can add, and you don't want it too thin, because then you got to add more flour. So I like to add a little at a time and blend it together. You could use a blender if you want, but what the heck? Use the old hand. I like putting this right in here and blend this all together. Now, when you're making a beer batter, don't make it the day before, okay? Because what happens, that beer breaks down because the yeast, that fermentation process gives it a nice little levity too. It adds to that baking powder you added and the egg. And you can see that it's actually starting to get nice and thick. If you let it sit for about 5 minutes, it will start to kind of create its own little batter. So you got to be careful. You don't want to let it sit too long, but you can make it like 20 minutes ahead of time. Don't worry that you have to make it last minute. And this is something that you could add some fresh herbs to it, whatever you pleasure. Coats the whip. So it's that easy to make. And you can use all-purpose flour. You can go with the better for bread type of flour. Just don't go with the self-rising, or you will have a loaf about that big right here, and the governor will get all mad at you. What are you doing? It's not good. I don't even think he talks like that. He talks kind of like this, not like that. So it's nice and easy. I'll tell you what, when we come back, I'm going to show you what we did to the pork. I'm going to show you how we skewer it up. And then we're going to deep fat fry them because that's good for you. Then we've got a nice special treat for you. Dave Metters, Constellation Brands, our wine guy, is going to be here to show us what pairs nicely with pork tenderloin. Johnny, you got something like pork music for us? Yeah, baby.
Anybody here seen Holly the Town? When's the last time you passed through? Business is slow and them folks are coming down. With the Holly bypass
The previous segment was brought to you by Aloha Shoyu. Taste the flavors of Aloha.
blue. Holly even bypass blue.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing? You great? Like earlier, I just showed you how easy it was to make a nice beer batter used for anything you like. If you don't like a heavier coating, you can go with a little more beer. Nothing wrong with a little more beer. It's good for you. Always buy a 6-pack, a 12-pack, some extras, right? You got to have extras. You never know who's going to show up. So I told you earlier we're going to do some pork tenderloin. I like the pork tenderloin versus some of the other cuts because it's right in the name. It's tender. It's the tenderloin like the beef tenderloin. It's a part of the pig or the hog that is not used as much as the other ones, like the leg muscle, which you usually have to cook like for a Kahlua pork. It's, you know, the shoulder. It's a little tougher. You have to cook it down for 8 hours, you know, to make it pulled pork. This is a tenderloin. It's only about this big. It weighs about 1 pound. You can get them in a lot of stores. There's just a little silver skin on it, which you could trim off, which is part of the tendon. And then it's really clean piece of meat. I mean, you can see. I didn't trim it much, but it's nice, and there's little strands of fat in there. This is so tender, you could saute it in a pan and just eat it like candy. I eat it all the time like candy. You're like, what are we having? We're having pork, you know. At Halloween, I put it into the bags for the kids. Strips of cooked pork. I tried the chili last year, but it kept going right through the bottom of the kids' bags. I don't know why they were mad. They got chili for Halloween. Come on, kids, grow up. So what we're going to do is we're going to skewer the pork. Make sure it's dead first, you know. No, so I cut it in little strips because you want it to kind of cook fast, but you still want to have some meat on there. So when you skewer, you can soak these in water. You can soak them in bourbon.
Wow.
Then lick them. No, it actually, they do sell skewers that are already pre-flavored with different liqueurs. Kind of cool. I said, put it in a shot glass on the side for me. You know, I don't want to ruin it on a skewer. Then people put them on the grill and forget, and what happens when you hit alcohol and boom. I don't know. You lost the meat, the skewer. So you take a piece of meat, take the skewer, the pointy side, and I kind of like just weave it a little bit, a little in and out, rather than straight up the middle. You can do that, but this way you can actually pull on it a little bit and elongate it, so you get a nice thin piece. See that? Easy to do. Y'all get it? You've been there before, huh? You're saying, come on, show us something. So what you do, you got to get your hot oil. Your hot oil is when it's just about smoking. It's about 375 degrees. So you can make it drip off a little bit, but you see how it coats the meat? It's not see-through. It's very nice. It's actually perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over, and you can always test your batter by drop one in. If it goes to the bottom and bounces right back up, can you get a shot of that? You want me to do it again for you? Watch. Boom, drop it in. You see how it bounces to the bottom, comes right back up. The oil is ready. So I just want to make sure. You don't want to pre-dip these either. You dip them right before they go in, then you put them in. I got some that I already made here. You want to make sure the oil's deep enough. You can turn them. And I'm going to go just make a few for you here. So that's perfect. And you never want to save the batter, especially when you're doing fish or anything, chicken, because you put raw product in there. One of my biggest things is cross-contamination. You got to be very careful of what you're doing and when you're doing it, baby. So be safe, be careful. You got hot oil here. Tell the kids to go in the other room unless they really want to learn how to see how they do this. What we're going to do, we're going to serve this with the Aloha Gold. You guys ever use the Gold? It's their premium soy sauce, perfect for dipping. The Aloha Gold is richer, stronger. It's like the perfect soy sauce for dipping. It is incredible. And these are just about ready. Oh yeah. I'm going to pop these over here. It's so easy. I mean, I love doing these for guests because they go, oh, wow, that is nice. So I got these all beautiful. And you get, I mean, they're filling too. And then I like just kind of hit it with a little chive at the end on the table, decorate everything. I don't care. Throw it in the air, it don't matter. Life is good, right? That's what the kids are for, to clean up. All right, Johnny, we have some playing out music. When we come back, we got the wine guy's going to be here. And he's going to show us what pairs nicely with pork tenderloin in just a minute. Go ahead, guys, play us.
Stalks of green rising across the land, planted deep in the nourishing mud by hand. Heart-shaped leaves, oh, they're soon to come. Stalks of green rising to greet the sun. Kalo land, in Kalo land, smiles are bright and the folks are tan. Kalo land.
The previous segment was brought to you by Kona Brewing Company.
Simply delicious. Healthy gluten-free soy sauce to complement any dish. Accent, splash, drizzle. Aloha Hawaiian-style katsu sauce. From our family to yours, served with pride. Reach for the healthy choice. Aloha brand sauces. An island staple. Taste of tradition. Taste the flavors of Aloha.
Life goes on in Kaloland.
Savea. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. Gordon, Jesse, Johnny.
Yes.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Mahalo.
Mahalo, my friend. That's it. I'm learning, except for I keep throwing my back out every day. I throw that hip, you know. It's like I'm like Elaine from Seinfeld, you know. Can't hula, can't surf, can't hula. What the heck am I doing here? I'm cooking. That's what I do best, right? I can cook, baby. We did some nice. Aloha Gold from Aloha Show You. And of course, I used a longboard beard in there. So remember all those little good things, because we're right here at the Kona Pub in Hawaii Kai at the Coco Marina. You gotta say that when you say marina. Marina. Of course. But now I'd like to introduce to you someone who has way more knowledge than me when it comes to wines, because that's why he's here, so I can learn and you can learn. Dave Metters from Constellation Brands, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause. Hey, Dave. Good to see you, my friend.
Is it time for some wine?
It's always time for wine. What
All right.
pairs nicely with a beer battered
Well,
pork
let's get some
tenderloin?
wine going first.
I like it. I've been
All right.
waiting all day.
All right, all right. Let's get some going first, and let's salute up. Let's get going.
That's right. Salute, my friend.
It's a good show.
Good
Salute
show, and our
everybody
good
out
friends
there.
in the audience will be tasting some also. Oh, wow. That's one
Well-
good thing about being an Italian, Dave. I could go all the way to the bottom of the glass with my nose. What a
That helps.
What a bouquet.
Very helpful. All right. I like it. It's
like
a good
that?
way to get started. Great way to get started.
I like it.
Well, you know, Chef, I always try to bring you something new. You know, everybody's tried all the Cabernets and Chardonnays and things out there. And we've talked about that on the show, but I want to try to bring you something new. It's good to experiment in wine and try something new out there. You might find a gem out there that you really like. Chef, you familiar with red blends?
No, I'm not. Well, I did blend it once. I spilt a Merlot and Syrah on the table, and I had guests come in, and they didn't really see it, you know. I put it into a pitcher. I called it decanted wine.
Oh, I like that. How'd that taste?
I loved it.
That's good. Well, sometimes when you're running out of a Cab and a Merlot,
Right.
you just mix them all together.
Is that real? What are you making?
Do you do that?
No, I usually fake the cork pop and go with the big gallon jug.
Or do you go around the house when you got guests and pour everybody's wine all into yours?
Don't you?
Of course. Well, how do you think I knew that happened?
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
great.
You didn't make it up.
Well, those are versions of red blends when you go and get everybody's glasses and pour them into yours.
I like
but
that.
But the wineries are now doing some things that are very exciting with the wines, and they call them red blends. Basically, as far as the chef's concerned, you know, it's like a house stew or a poke where every different chef has their own different recipe for a stew. You go to one restaurant, you try a stew or a poke, and then the different chef has a different blend, and they all taste a little different, and they're all pretty good. But at a winery, what they're doing is they'll pick a Cabernet, get a Zinfandel and a Syrah, and call it a red blend at one winery. Then the next winery will get a Petit Syrah and a Merlot and a Zinfandel, and they'll make a great red blend at a different winery. So each one has a little bit different red blend, and you know, they're all coming up pretty good. They're seeing what great fruit they have out there, and they're not setting to any technique and any percentage. So one might have 50% Merlot and 17% Zinfandel, and the next one has a whole different percentage and different varietals in there. So these are getting really popular out there, and people are having fun at the winery making them, and people are having fun drinking them. So there's a lot of them out there, and I encourage you to try them. So these are a lot of fun. So we brought a real interesting red blend for you here. This is different where this is actually calling out what type it is. It's called GSM, and that stands for actually what the grapes are in there. It's a Grenache Syrah Mourvedre, and those are Southern Rhone varietals, okay, which is from France. And France has actually been making these varietals for many, many years. The difference in some of the U.S. and California blends is it makes it easier than France. We actually call out our varietals, obviously Cabernet and Pinot Noir. It makes it difficult for us U.S. consumers when we're buying French wines, is they name them after the towns and the regions. So we're going to go buy something from Burgundy or something like that, and we're not sure, is this Pinot Noir or is this Cabernet? So it makes it a little more difficult. Second part of that too is we like very fruit-forward wines in the U.S., you know, from Napa Valley and the Central Coast and that type of thing. And in France, they're a little more earthy. They don't get quite as much sunlight as we get in California. So French wines have dropped off just a little bit. So here's what we got here. We got Estancia. Are you finished already?
Well, I didn't get any.
Well, you might have to go some of the other guests and blend a little bit.
We might have to.
So
is that why they don't call, like from New York wine, like Hoboken Red? Have a little Hoboken Red here tonight, hon.
So we got Estancia, which is a great winery in Monterey. If you've been to Monterey, you know you got a great sunlight and great coolness off the ocean. So you got Grenache in here, which is a light, kind of like a Pinot Noir, but a light, really like a raspberry, strawberry. Syrah, which we've all had, which is a little spicy. And then Mourvedre gives it great color. I don't know if you can see that, but you're going to all try some, which beautiful color.
It is a gorgeous color.
Yeah, so these GSM wines are getting more and more popular, but we're taking a French style. We're getting with the great fruit forwardness of California, and we're making it into a blend. Great thing about these two is easier than France. We actually show you the percentage right on the label and exactly what's in there. So you're looking at it on the shelf. It's showing you what wines are in there and what percentage is in the wine.
Dave, always amazing, always bringing us great wines. Stick around for the end of the show. We're going to take a little break. I got to get another glass of wine. Johnny, take us out, baby. Gordon, Jesse.
Sea breeze blows into my window. Sunrise puts a light into my eyes. Seabirds sing their songs along the shoreline.
simply delicious. Healthy gluten-free soy sauce to complement any dish. Accent, splash, drizzle. Aloha Hawaiian-style katsu sauce. From our family to yours, served with pride. Reach for the healthy choice. Aloha brand sauces. An island staple. Taste of tradition. Taste the flavors of Aloha.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Gordon, thank you. Okay, they're not going to stop until you clap. There you go. Johnny, Jesse, Gordon, thank you guys.
Thank
Great
you.
show as usual. But you know what? Doesn't it pair nicely?
Pairs nicely. So you get the Estancia GSM. So we got, it's a lighter red, so it's going to go with a white meat. And then also when you're pairing, you got to pay attention to what sauce. So we're dipping with a darker sauce.
What do we got over
Yeah.
here?
So Estancia also makes a great Pinot Noir and Sauvignon Blanc, and the Cabernets are from Paso Robles. So great line of wines to go with those two.
Dave Metters, as usual, the wine guy, man. Ladies and
sir.
gentlemen, thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much. Hey, I want to thank you for coming out today. It's been a great show. I want to thank all our sponsors, as usual, Aloha Show You and Kona Beer and Dave Metters, Constellation Brands.
Thanks for
Hey,
having
thank you. Remember, pair. Have a couple pairs. Guys, play us out.
I am mountains rising high above the valley.
Promotional considerations provided by Aloha Show You, Kona Brewing Company, Constellation Brands, Skydive Hawaii, Jams World.
Turning cold black in the ocean. I am a shore extending deep into the sea. I am a shore extending deep into the sea.